Squirrely, squirrely, squirrel. Because they're monkeys. Because they're monkeys. Welcome back, travelers, to Legendary Lore with my monkey of a co-host, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Kamehameha.
I can't believe you started the episode when I was doing vocal warm-ups.
I was like, we gotta get this.
I didn't know he had started. I'm sorry, everyone. Anyways, right now we're talking about Jace Beleren. And Jace's particular story at this point is while he's at the Infinite Consortium. We're just going to jump right into it. Did I say Legendary Lore already? I don't remember.
You had not yet, and it's also League of Legends.
Everything's a blur. I've eaten Christmas cookies that we got on sale, so we have a ton of Christmas cookies.
Everything is awesome. Everything's a blur when you're part of a team.
It takes color. The point is, Purifying Fire. It's a very small
Hey, I haven't shown
role.
off my shirt yet either. Let's check the
that's
Pikachu.
cool.
This is my Christmas
I
gift
like
from Ariel.
That's a cool picture. So, basically, Purifying Fire is actually super short, so it's just kind of tacked on, because it leads into Zendikar. So,
It's mainly
Purifying
Chandra.
Fire is Chandra's story.
That was the first book I read.
Well, you, as a child, you had a really, really complex book to read for your first book.
After that, I went to Cliff with the Big Red Dog. It was a huge jump.
So, basically what happens in Purifying Fire is a whole bunch of Chandra stuff. But for Jace specifically, is that he is sent to track down, and this is like a flashback kind of thing. It's basically some point during his first year working for the Consortium. So he was still working for Tezzeret at this point, but it kind of leads into Zendikar, which is why it's happening right now. He has to go and get a scroll from the Sanctum of Stars on a plane called Kefala. Kefala is like this white-blue plane, like everybody's really smart and stuffy. The point is, Chandra's there, and she's like, "Nye, nye, 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 nye," and she has the scroll, this very powerful scroll, right? And Chandra is trying to get away from him. He's chasing after her through the place. She burning everything down. He fails. He follows her. She's at Carol Keep, and while at Carol Keep, she basically is like, she has the spell. She learns the spell, and Jace is able to take the thing, and he erases her memories and all that stuff. But she's able to like remember it. It's kind of it's like
It's our Frieza thing at the beginning. He was basically Frieza chasing her down.
yeah. But the thing is, Chandra.
I did it, you monkey.
So Jace wins. Yay, Jace won. But what Chandra does is, like, over the course of 3 years, she tracks down the Dragon Scroll again, and she takes it and she like learns about it and all this other stuff, right?
Basically, Chandra didn't want to lose.
Yeah, and she wanted the spell, and she gets
you don't have the spell. You know what? I'll
Jace-
get it.
Jace had been studying it, and so he goes to Garuk, and he's like, "Hey, Garuk, tell me more about the scroll and Zendikar and all this other stuff, and just tell
I
me
didn't know
about that
Jason
place."
Grook had any interaction.
Well, I mean, this was kind of before you had a lot more, like, at this point, you're kind of just throwing characters at walls and
Because at
seeing
this
what
point, we
they're...
had 5 characters, so they had to have talked to each other.
Well, the thing is, look at Nisa. Nisa's character personality is vastly different when you look at Zendikar and her present day design. They're two entirely different characters. And so Garuk was different.
It's true.
And Jace basically, like, pulls it
Powerful
out of his
mage.
mind by force.
Likes girls.
And so all that happens, Jace shows up. He's chasing after her. He has a guy named Anawan who's a vampire. He's got 2 different cards, but he was basically the guide for Jace. And they go through, and eventually...
That's in his flavor text, isn't it? Something about the scroll.
Yes, I think it is. But basically, Anawan is he becomes his guide because Anawan killed his guide. He's a vampire. He killed Jace's original guide, and he's able to get out of Anawan the route to the Eye of Ugin. So they go to the Eye of Ugin, and while there, Anawan's like, "You know what? I'm not going anywhere near that.
Did he make
can
anyone
do
help
what you're
with
gonna."
mind magic, or did he just like convince him to do it?
I'm pretty sure it's been a while
Because
since
how
I
I'm
read that book.
imagining it, okay, here's legendary lore from Joe's perspective. Jace goes up just like, okay, this guy's gonna show me how to do it. This vampire comes up and eats Jace's guide. Just like, that was delicious. Just like, that was my guide. Well, that sucks. I need a new one, okay? It's you. Aw. And that's how it happened.
That's pretty much how it happened, and we're gonna say that's exactly what happened. So, they get to the eye. He's like, forget that. Jace goes in to the eye of Ugin, and when he does, he sees a dragon. So Jace sees this dragon. He sees Chandra. Chandra's fighting this dragon. Jace is there, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna help Chandra as much as I can. And he realizes that his spells aren't working. He can't do any of his illusion magic in the eye of Ugin, because every time he does something, the Hedrons suck up the mana and they get rid of it. So the Hedrons in this area are locking him down. And Chandra's fire spells, it's the same thing. She throws fire, nothing happens. The dragon does his fire, nothing happens. Nothing is happening because the Hedrons are in full swing. Because they're meant to contain a massive amount of energy, right?
Is the dragon significant?
The dragon is a planeswalker.
Oh.
And
I was like, why would a dragon
who do you think it is?
Sarkhan.
It is Sarkhan! Sarkhan the Mad! He's insane in the membrane!
Wait, so in the Eye of Ugin, when Chandra and Jace break the Eye of Ugin, they're not fighting each other, they themselves are fighting against Sarkhan?
Yes.
I thought they were fighting each other this whole time.
Well, they were. It was like a three-way fight. But Jace then's like, hey, Chandra, I know you know the spell. It's called the Ghost Fire. Cast the Ghost Fire to stop this dragon. Because the Ghost Fire won't be affected because it doesn't use the same kind of colors of magic.
Just like, why don't you do it? You're the red mage! Oh.
Pretty much. So then Chandra, she does it. She conjures this invisible flame, and she's able to basically take down Sarkhan. Sarkhan runs away thinking he failed, but he didn't, because he was sent there by Nicol Bolas, because there's a specific key that had been sent on the Eye of Ugin by the Big Three, who are their own storyline that we might do at another point in time. The important part is that by doing that particular spell, a colorless spell, in the presence of three planeswalkers, one of whom was a dragon, those are literally the requirements, they open the Eye of Ugin. They unlock it. And because of that, can you guess what they get, Joe?
Eldrazi's.
They do! They get lots and lots of Eldrazi's. And like, so Chandra runs away because she woke up after
this Eye of Ugin, there's somewhat of a rise of these Eldrazi's.
So Chandra goes away because everybody passed out, and then she gets out. Jace starts walking out, and he's like, yeah, I did it. And so he's going. And then eventually he sees an Eldrazi. And he's like, what? It attacks. It kills Jace's mount that he got from a nearby town. He's able to get away. He's on a boat. He gets to the lighthouse.
He's on a boat.
He gets to the lighthouse of Halimar. He's able to learn a little bit about the Eldrazi, and he's able to tell people a bit about it. There's an archivist, and Jace is like, you know what? I can't really do anything. I don't know what else I can do. I've told you everything I know, and everything's gone terribly, and I don't know what I've done. I'll return with information if I get it. And with that, Jace released the Eldrazi on Zendikar. Once again, his recklessness, the fact that he thinks that he knew everything and had the perfect plan, his lack of foresight is what caused this catastrophe to happen, and it is going to further develop his character. But for the time being, his answer to this particular bad thing just happened is run away. You may have noticed running away is kind of his shtick. It's his thing. It's his jam.
Until he joins the Gatewatch, but we'll get to that.
Yes, and so with that, we actually end our original storyline for Jace. There are obviously Nisa's storyline and Gideon's storyline have a bit more in the Zendikar plotline for the original Zendikar. And so next up, we're actually returning to Ravnica for Return to Ravnica story, which was, yes, I know, which was done in a series of little novellas that you could get on ebook form. They
Speaking
were
of
actually
Gideon and Nisa, seriously guys, let us know if you want to hear one of these. We're more than happy to do them. So basically what happened on Zendikar, here's another Joe's perspective of legendary lore. So Jace unleashes these giant monsters, and then he goes to this lighthouse and just like, hey, what do you know about giant monsters? Like, you mean Eldrazi? Yeah, I mean Eldrazi. And then he finds out about Eldrazi, and The guy's just like, why? What do you need to know? I'm just like, that, and then the guy passes out and dies.
Not entirely wrong, that Joe. Not entirely old there, but he's there. Thank you guys for watching. Joe, take it away.
Thank you guys so much for watching, like Ricky said. We're going to go ahead and catch you guys next time with some more League of Legendary... What do you call this?
Lore.
Go ahead and leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe to catch the rest of this. This is going to be an ongoing series, of course. Once we finish the Jace series, we're going to continue with other stuff that either we think is relevant, or that you guys want to see.
We will, I will say right now, real quick, we are going to pick one of the comments and we'll do that legendary lore. It's going to take a while, but that will be the next one we do. Other than Kaldheim. We'll probably do a bunch of Kaldheim legends.
That should be fun. Thank you guys.